Hello and welcome. My name is Fredrik Zillén and I'm a running technique specialist. And this episode will be all about this. The idea that you should not make large movements in different directions when you run is based on the idea that movement costs energy. And to be energy efficient, you need to keep the range of motion down and not waste energy sideways or up and down with unnecessary arms, legs and body movements. But the opposite, deliberately trying to reduce these movements, can be wrong also. And I will give you 2 reasons why this is. But knowing from experience with comments from previous videos, where some people seem to deliberately do their best to misunderstand and misinterpret what I say, I thought I would first make a clarification. Obviously, larger movements cost more energy than smaller ones. If I do this, it will cost more energy than if I do this. And of course, movements further away from the center of mass costs more energy than movements that are more compact near the center of mass. What I'm talking about now is something else. Firstly, it costs energy not only to create movements, but also to make movements smaller. If you take a broomstick, like this one for example, it can now act as a pendulum. Say that this end of the pendulum is up here. The energy to get the end up here is already spent, so I can't do anything about that. Now, if I drop the pendulum, it will swing like this. It will be quite a big movement. It goes from here to here. Swing. Now, if I do it again, but instead of letting the pendulum complete the swing up to the other side here, I stop it like this. Then the movement is smaller than when I let it go from here to here. But of course it costs more energy as I have to put energy into breaking the movement. So even though the movement is smaller going from here to here compared to here to here, it obviously costs less energy to let it swing than to stop it. If we now transfer this to running, I have seen many runners who try to control and deliberately trying to reduce the range of motion in their eagerness to save energy. The problem is that it often costs more energy to resist the movement and make the movement smaller than it costs when they relax and let the movement happen. Let me use an example from one of my previous videos. It is about the idiotic advice that elbows should not swing out from the body, that they should only move very close to the body like this. The argument is usually that if the elbows go out to the side, it is kinetic energy going sideways, which cannot be optimal as you should run forward and then of course have all the kinetic energy going in that direction. And this is true. Sending kinetic energy to the side is not optimal. But when I hear people say that, I usually ask, but how much energy does it cost to keep the elbow close to the body? The elbow obviously wants to swing out, so it must cost energy to stop it from doing so. And it's only when we know the cost of the sideways movement and the cost of keeping them close to the body that we can know which is more costly. And in this particular case of the elbow, we can be absolutely sure that it costs more energy to hold it in than to let it swing out a bit to the side, as almost all elite runners do. secondly. I have in several other videos talked about the rubber band effect in the body that allows you to get back up to 50% of the mechanical energy put into elastic structures in the body. The amount of energy return is based on, among other things, the stretching of the rubber bands, that is muscles, tendons and connective tissues, and if you don't pull them out, you can't fully charge them with energy and utilize the free energy that the rubber band effect will give you. If they are not stretched and charged, you will not have an elastic recoil. And then you will have to work harder with your muscles. This rubber band effect is present throughout the body. And if you try to reduce the range of motion in the shoulders and the arms and the core and the hips and legs, you must first of all, you must spend energy to resist the movements, which cost energy, which also means that you miss all the free energy return you can get back through the stretch shortening cycle. Well, of course, you shouldn't run like this. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's often counterproductive to try to limit the range of motion based on the idea that smaller movements always cost less energy than larger movements. It is much better if you try to have a relaxed running, because then you can utilize all the rubber band effect you have in your body. Relaxation is always very important in any sports. Anyone who has tried to do a karate kick or hit a golf ball or swim really fast know that if you tense up, it's not going to be good. So today's take-home message will be, yes, if you run like this with really large movements and your arms and legs and head swings all around, it will probably not be so energy efficient. But if you try to keep still and hold all the parts very, very still, you will probably cost a lot more energy when running. Just relax and let the rubber band effect do what it does best in your body. Let the movements happen. And that's it for today. See you in the next video.